How's it going? Just
do we have issues?
No, in the past we did.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
That's what I said. I said you in the past we had our differences. I thought you were a prick who thought you were right about everything.
Yeah. That
I still think you're kind of a prick, but you're kind of like an endearing prick sometimes.
I have a big dick. That is very true.
That's not what I said. But.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you're like a prick, you're kind of like exemplifying it, right?
You're not that bad when you're focusing on the DOJ.
I'm
and
real
not
good,
just, like,
trust me.
and not just like keeping us in your mind about everything.
What makes you think that was ever the case?
Well, every time I spoke to you, it was like something about the BCSO, like a few months ago.
Well, yeah, because you were BCSO.
Yeah, I'm more than just the BCSO.
I mean, I'm sorry I never asked about your personal life, I guess.
Well, that's your fault. Actually, no, you're also pretty invested in my personal. You were also you were also pretty invested in my personal life.
I was. Yeah, given the marriage. I mean, listen, to be fair, I don't think it's unreasonable to be like, being concerned, law enforcement, whatever. That's neither here nor there. So, so sorry, go ahead. You said we don't have issues.
No, I don't think at this current moment in time.
Oh, okay.
I don't have an issue with you. I have no problem talking with you.
All right. You sure about that?
Yeah, do you think I have a problem talking with you?
Yeah, I just was on the phone just now and I'm all right.
Yeah, you were talking to Marty. I was right in front of him.
Yeah. Well, no,
we had issues,
the phone call after that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I pretty much reiterated what I told to you.
All right. Now you had issues, but not anymore.
Yeah, that's what I told him.
All right. I got you. All right. Okay, well, I'm glad because I do think we have a pretty good working relationship. And it'd be unfortunate if, things got kind of not that way.
Listen, there's nothing more that I don't want than to go back. Did I word that right? I don't want to go back to how things were months ago, is my point.
How did you think, how did it affect you back then?
The cause and effect of like everything that happened having to do with my job.
The
and, like,
fear of like losing the job and all that kind of thing.
I mean, I wasn't really ever scared about losing my job. I was fucking being on duty was just mentally draining. Because of all the fucking mental hurdles I have to go through every day.
Whatever did happen, because I mostly just said shit. I'm very good at stirring.
You're a good stirrer.
Because if you think about it, I never actually did anything. I just said I was.
You're a talker, and the unfortunate thing is, I guess
people think I'm going to do it.
Is people think you're going to do it, and also a lot of people are impressionable. So there's a lot of parrots in both departments in the PD who hear things and just mimic it and push it and keep pushing it and treat it as like gospel.
Right. So people feared what would happen to them in BCSO? Is that what was going on? I'm trying to understand it so it doesn't repeat. Or I'm planning.
I don't know. Probably some people feared. I don't think the majority did. I think the majority was just wanting to just come on duty and do their job and not be held to limitations of jurisdiction. And it was never so deep to us. The whole jurisdiction thing was never about us seizing control from the LSPD or taking control from the LSPD. I think a lot of us, and I still am in agreement that, there does have to be a deciding factor. Like stuff can't just happen and I can't like disagree with Maxwell and it just be that, right? It can't just be left at a stalemate because we're two captains disagreeing on something.
Right.
There does have to be a factor put in place that is differentiating. I think it's fine that if like something happens in Ellis County and Maxwell disagrees with me, she can like just like decide that what, her decision is decision. That's fine. I think vice versa works fine. I think as long as it's not abused by either side, it works as intended and works properly.
Shit. Are you?
What the fuck does that
Sorry,
mean?
1 second.
I don't know what you mean.
Sorry, 1 second. Is it?
I don't know what you mean by that.
No, I'm not talking to you.
Oh.
All right, I gotta drive away from here. Hold on. Give me a sec.
Jenna and Drake were in it. Yeah.
All right, sorry. Go ahead. I think some place is getting robbed right now.
I'm in another car on the freeway right now. I'm not down there.
I'm gonna be honest. I think things got worse because Moss told me one thing and then told you guys another thing. I'm gonna be honest.
I mean,
so
maybe I don't know
think,
what Moss
yeah.
told you. I have no clue.
Yeah.
I'm not aware of that. I'm just happy. I mean, I'm sure Turner has told you, and we talked to Turner a lot. I think Turner, like a lot of us talk to Turner a lot.
Yeah.
I'm happy that the departments are finally in an area where we can cooperate and work together, and not have to worry about petty little internal fucking squabbles.
Understood. So, okay. All right. Well, that's good. If there's no issues, then there's no issues. All right.
I don't think there's any crazy ones now.
No.
I think we have our day-to-days, you know, whatever, like fucking little shit on duty, but that's natural.
Yeah.
That keeps things a little interesting, I guess.
What is your take on jurisdictions?
What's that? What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, you were saying earlier, you guys, it almost sounded like you said that you guys didn't want to do jurisdictions.
So how do I say this? The jurisdiction thing turned to, it shifted into a point where like anytime, it was like being pushed that anytime like anything crossed into the city, we had to like stop and be like, at LSPD, we're coming in, can we do this? At LSPD command, can we clear pits? And
like,
vice versa.
You're talking about the 2 weeks of dasMEHDI.
Yeah, like that shit, that was peak. That's like, you know, that's like the peak bullshit that's like ingrained in my mind right now. That was like a vast misinterpretation of how it was, I guess, intended, at least in my mind. So it's like, I think that shit is completely unnecessary and just counterproductive at us trying to do our job.
Right.
I think anyone in the PD that is officer above should be 100% capable and competent enough to make decisions with the best intention in the field. And then if there is problems, we deal with them after the fact. I don't think there has to be 75 checkpoints, you know, verbal or figurative checkpoints put in place.
None of this was ever the case.
That people have to go through on every act. I think that's just unnecessary.
All right.
Like I shouldn't have to check in with LSPD when I drive down the freeway. I think
you guys had to do that.
No, but it was like I remember one scene in this is like I said, the dasMEHDI, whatever. I remember one scene where like it would go up north and like dasMEHDI would be like, okay, I'm passing this over to BCSO. And I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck this is about. What do you mean you're passing me over this scene that I have no context on? See it through. Or he did like something would happen. He would say, he would call Jimbo, am I good to clear PBS? And he would interrupt comms for like 10 seconds. It's just unnecessary.
So outside of those, like that 2 week period, because I think it was about 2 weeks, right? Then started doing some shit along those lines, and then it was put to a stop.
Maybe I don't remember. It's kind of like a dark time in my mind that I kind of shut out.
What the fuck? Was it that bad?
It was pretty shit. It was pretty. If I wasn't so patient that I am, it probably would have fucking cooked me mentally.
Okay, good. So that I can hit your breaking point.
Maybe one day.
Don't dare me now. Don't dare me.
No, I'm not daring you. To answer your question, jurisdiction thing, I think in points of contention, so like disagreements, high command disagreements, command disagreement, probably high commands because it gets runs up the chain. High command disagreements, I think it's perfectly reasonable, for like the jurisdictional authority to oversee. Asterisks, we have asterisks because I went to fucking put asterisks in this conversation with you because I feel like you're cooking. You're stirring in this conversation.
I literally am not.
I know mentally you are.
I feel like stirring. I may have like permanently damaged you. I think
I'm on guard. I'm on guard. Asterisks at the end of it. I think the concept of the departments having ultimate decision over punitive measures to their subordinates, I think that is good.
Yeah.
If we all are very transparent with each other, we're communicative with each other, and we work together. I think
I agree with that.
For the most part, if like a deputy does some dumb shit, and like Viv comes up to me and is like, you know, they fucking did this, I want 2 daps. I say, fine, sure, yeah, no, I'm not gonna stop it.
Yeah.
But there has to be a stop. There has to be like a fail safe. If like Jimbo is like shitting on an LSPD officer and he's like, you're suspended for 2 weeks, and it's like, whoa, what the fuck do you mean you're suspended?
Yeah,
for 2
right.
weeks, right.
You don't want people targeting the other side.
Yes.
I agree with that.
I think the department having ultimate like decision over punishments.
Look, I think Peter's definitely conflated a lot of those things. He's not exactly, you know, not really good at that shit. I think that didn't help. I mean, I'm just going to say it out loud. I mean, I saw it happen in front of me. So
I mean, Peter's had his moments. I have nothing against Peter's. Listen, I have too much to deal with day to day than to hold grudges on people over shit that happened in the past. I move on.
Okay.
I'll deal with it as it comes.
Okay. All right. That's good. So accountability is important, but you do understand the jurisdictional differences, right? Like there's going to be desires in one county.
You keep bringing the jurisdictional thing up. This is what I'm thinking. You're mentally.
No, I'm explaining it. Like, yeah, I was just in the middle of it. But you do understand the jurisdictional differences. Like, in other words, the mayor of Blaine County is going to want things to be a certain way, and the mayor in Los Santos counties are going to want things a certain way, and that's, a part of the. Why do you think I'm cooking something up? I'm actually genuinely surprised.
Because you get bored. You get bored. You get bored in your mind, and you start and you have a little idea in your mind.
Holy fuck.
You said, let me plant this seed. Let me plant this seed. So you're laughing because it is what you do. You might not be doing it now, but you do it, right?
I feel like I genuinely, I'm calling because of the conversation with Marty, so I'm trying to understand why my name came up the way that it did. But I'm finding
your name only came up because you called.
I'm sorry?
So your name only came up because you called. That's like how you came into the topic.
I understand. It didn't seem like that, right? Because I returned his phone call and he mentioned your name and what I thought about you. Yeah. But I think I 100% do things because I'm bored, but I also do things because I have certain convictions, right?
Sure.
And even those convictions back then wasn't just like fuck the BCSO. They were backed on reason, which, while I understand you guys may not have saw that perspective, but it didn't just happen randomly. You know what I mean? But there's nothing being cooked up right now. If I was cooking something up right now, I'd probably just tell you straight. Like,
fair. Okay.
Yeah. But going back to it,
good.
You said a whole lot. So for my own knowledge, I am asking you, so that we are on the same page, not for any whatever might be going through your mind, but you do understand like the jurisdictional differences, like there can be cultural differences, and that's something that people as like voters are going to want to see.
I understand the need for jurisdictions. I understand the idea behind it. That's as broad as an answer.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, no, that's all I wanted to. That's all I was asking. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you, Ventura. All right.
What?
It doesn't matter if it's Princess. It doesn't matter if it's Marty. We're already planning to replace all of BCSO.
Who are you putting in?
I don't want you to lose your job. You're a pretty decent one in all this.
Are they at the hospital? Where did they go, McClellan? Yeah, who you planning on putting in, Nino?
That's an actual start. None of that's actually happening. Yeah.
I think Brian Knight could make a good sheriff, you know?
I don't think Brian Knight is able to stay on duty long enough due to the incompetency witnesses, and
I don't think Brian Knight
put a gun to his head.
Knows how to collect evidence in this new iteration of PD.
That's crazy. Should look at the reports a little bit more often.
I look at too much shit to read his report.
Yeah.
I'm not pocket watching Brian Knight's reports.
Well, no, you should take a look at the recent ones where he tied a bunch of old reports together and pressed a bunch of charges last night. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen. Good luck with your master plan. You're like Littlefinger.
Ventura. I literally said it was a joke.
I know. I'm
okay.
joking. I'm being facetious.
Okay. I mean, I can listen. I'm good at making people do things. That is very true.
Take a look at him.
All right.
Holy fuck! Everyone's fucking talking to me. I know you are, but you're like Littlefinger. You're Littlefinger in Game of Thrones.
No, Littlefinger had no power. What do you mean?
No, but he did. You're Littlefinger with power, but you're still orchestrating shit.
Have you watched Game of Thrones? Have you read the books?
Ago.
Yeah.
You think I read?
You mean like Tyrion, maybe? Tyrion Lannister, maybe? Littlefinger literally had zero power to do anything.
I think you're a mix of. I think you're a mix of Tyrion. You're like, and you have your Joffrey moments too.
How is the Joffrey moments?
You have your Joffrey moments.
Have you read the book?
Yeah, no, I don't read. I mean,
so you watch the movie or you watch the TV shows?
Yeah, I watch the shows. You got like a sprinkle of a bunch of people.
All the, like, you're picking the most like standout characters, like maybe Tywin Lannister. Okay, do you remember who Tywin Lannister is?
Is the father? Was it the father?
Yes. Yeah. Tywin Lannister. How did the Lannisters come to power with all the golden shit?
You're asking me for a lore dump? I don't remember what I ate for yesterday.
No, but you're saying, like, you're referencing Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
The stuff. Did you say Lord of the Rings?
Yeah. Or Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Well, the parts I remember.
Yeah. Tywin Lannister was the father, right? The Lannisters, the means by which they acquire debt is making sure to always pay it, but they put out loans. You know what I mean? So you give a little to get a little. So if you give a lot of people owe you something. You know what I mean? So.
Right.
Wait, where are you in this? What's your character?
I'm Hodor. I'm just holding the fucking door up so everyone else can survive. I'm Hodor in the scene right before he died. That's me.
Who are you holding the door against?
I'm holding out Peter.
Like, who are the orcs? Like civilians?
No, Peter.
Peters is barely around.
I know. Well, now he's not. A kid will do that to you.
Jesus Christ. All right.
You're looking too deep into it. I'm saying at face value.
I know. I'm looking deep because I'm trying to understand, like,
Stop dissecting my joke.
I'm just trying to understand perspective. That's all it is.
To some element too, you could be Hodor, keeping the BCSO out. That's you holding the door to Ellis County.
I am holding it against justices that literally do not even read the law. So, yeah. So, that I will agree with. I will ask you something point blank.
Yeah.
Is there a reason you guys were led to believe that the traffic stop over at Strawberry was about reckless endangerment?
Which one?
The one where Quangle stalked me and a bunch of people up to Polito.
Why we were led to believe that it was about reckless endangerment?
It was about reckless endangerment, yeah.
Is there a reason why we think that? I think looking at, like, reading the report, looking at, like, the facts that are there in the report, I think there is a interesting argument for reckless endangerment, but that had to be decided on in court, in my opinion. Whether how it the entire traffic stop actually divulged and then developed, I'm not sure. That's all.
That's the key bit, right? And this isn't me trying to this is me once again perspective, right?
Cool.
Is that at the time of a traffic stop, the reason for detainment needs to be understood, right? We're in agreement on that, right?
Yeah, and I don't know if Quangle very well could have not relayed that properly. It's very possible.
Oh,
I'm just
interesting.
Saying, listen, no, Nino,
I see what happened.
Don't stop.
No. I think what happened, and I could be wrong here, but I have a feeling that in his report, he said he did it for reckless endangerment, even though that wasn't the case.
So let me tell you how I look at it, right? Outside perspective, not being there. You were there. I wasn't, right? I look at the report. I listen to what you say. I listen to what you say. I think, okay, there's two options. One option is Quangle's story. Second option is Nino's story.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something in the middle. Maybe it's either of theirs. I don't know. I have to look at what's in front of me and think about what is most likely. Now,
what if he ends up like Mason Dixie?
You mean dead? Or with scoliosis?
Do you not know about everything else?
Oh, you're doing that Nino thing.
No, I am not.
This is a Nino thing you're doing.
I'm asking a question.
The what? You didn't know what? You didn't know.
Wait, do you not know about the stalking and the?
That's on my Nino bingo card.
And the
don't you know is on my Nino bingo card.
It's people don't. I mean, it's a normal social reaction, to be honest. Like, what surprises the dead part is the least interesting bit of the entire court case.
Yeah, but it's funnier to say dead or have scoliosis than to go in the other one.
I didn't know he had scoliosis.
He did. It's a very serious.
Oh. You are aware about the rest of the stuff, though, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Though that is not something that I want to really discuss.
It's on the docket.
I don't want to.
Regardless. Anyways, okay. I can see why that puts you in a tough position. Do you trust the officer or the others around? Transparently, and I've told Turner this too, so I'm going to tell you as well, is when I got a follow-up on it, I want to see civilians get retribution in a shorter bandwidth, and retribution doesn't mean lawsuit, doesn't mean, oh shit. Sorry, one second. Doesn't mean retribution, doesn't mean lawsuit, doesn't mean civil, whatever. Is that if there is a perception of wrongdoing, that they get some sort of response in a timely manner, right? Otherwise, there's a loss of faith in going to the police department over anything, right? Now, at the end of the day, y'all end up having to deal with the he said, she said, right? Did Carmine do what he did, or are the allegations false? There's no way to know, right?
Yeah, resolution has to be middle ground. That has to be middle ground.
And even if that turns into an I agree to disagree for a lot of people, that's all they're looking for, a resolution to their thing. As opposed to it turning into a Slack situation where it's like, we'll look into it. Because for civilians, that means nothing's going to happen, even though there might have been.
Yeah.
Right? But anyways. All right, well, I'm glad you don't have a hatred towards me. And, you know.
My days are too busy to worry about you.
Well, I hope that's the case.
No.
Yeah. All right.
All right, Nino.
All right. Easy enough. All right, you take care.
Yeah.
Oh my God, man, that was a that phone call makes it seem like the opposite. I'm gonna be honest. That sounds like the fucking opposite. Man, poor guy, man. I didn't fucking know. I kept getting thrown off guard.